Alright, now for chapter 6, and there's a little bit more that's going on here. So, first off, you want to be very careful about mashing the C button during this section, because, actually I'll demonstrate. If I mash the C button, I start talking to Gurglefin, and I don't want to do that yet because I'm not ready to talk to him. So you need to be careful about mashing. This is why we started as the player 2 controller, or the player 2 character. When you roll over to the oil can, no cutscene plays. But a cutscene does play if you're player 1, and it'll pan over to the far viewer. So that loses a little bit of time, so that's why we start as player 2. You roll up the stairs, roll over to the far viewer. Okay. Can be a little finicky. Again, you don't want to be mashing C here, because Hugo's right here, so you just want to be careful about how you're pressing the button. Then you roll back down the stairs into the dock. Same deal with chapter 5, the position that Gurglefin is in is random, so he could be all the way at the bottom, he could be, right at the front. Ideally, the closer the stairs, the better. You roll over to the rock wall, and you want to single attack it once. And then get a very minor rollout during that cutscene in order to allow you to get over to this rock wall cleanly. The exact inputs here for, just for doing it... Actually, I can redo this chapter to re-demonstrate this. Should do that once. So, it's a very specific sequence. You want to be able to get to that next rock wall in 4 rolls rather than 5, or doing 4 rolls and extra walking. So I do a single attack here, and then initiate a roll to get a little bit of extra distance. And then I get 4 rolls, can do attacks to get down the rock wall. And as I am standard attacking, I can just continue walking in order to loop around this corner. You want to do a walk around the corner rather than a roll, because a roll will take you too far away, and you can also throw off your angle. And you also can't roll while you're attacking. So as you're attacking, you're able to just walk around the corner. Roll over here, and you want to roll on the right side of this bridge. I'm playing you guys just for so as you roll, you want to roll along the right side of this bridge. And then you want to get to the bounce pad. Once you get to the bounce pad, you want to bonk the mast here in order to preserve your momentum. Now, let me actually see the exact way I described this. Okay, yeah. So what you want to do is you want to roll in such a way where you position yourself to be right next to the bounce pad, but not on it. Because if I roll directly on it, it doesn't work as cleanly. I think it still can work, but it's just going to be a little more finicky. So you want to roll basically just next to the bounce pad. And then you want to get launched. Also, there's sometimes this bounce pad will just not launch you even if you're standing directly on it. If you need to fix that, you just press minus and then close, and then the bounce pad will work again. It sometimes happens. I don't know how to make it happen intentionally, but just keep that in mind. As for this bounce specifically, you want to aim it again so that you're bonking your head onto the top of the mast. The way you would normally do this is you would bounce, and then you would land on the mast, walk, and then fall off here. That's what it looks like normally. But what you want to do for the speedrun is you're walking into this and then bouncing into the mast, which essentially converts your vertical momentum into horizontal. And that allows you to land directly on the stairs, and then you can roll up. Oh, so there it goes. See, now it's not working. So, I don't know why that happened. But just using minus will fix it. If that happens, there you go. That one last time. Bounce, and then you can land on the stairs and continue. Roll across the bridge, roll up here. Hack the wooden gate. Grab the key, roll back down. Into the key gate. Unlock the key gate, rather. Same deal with that lock. You want to wait for the blob to fully enter the lock before triggering the cutscene. Now you can use either the D-pad or the nunchuck here for block puzzle, if you have a preference. Roll to the wooden gate, knock it down. Just a single standard attack is all I need. Same deal, standard attack. So you want to roll up this stairs and then over here. Grab the key. You don't want to miss it. You want to grab the key and then the teleporter. I get teleported over here. And then you can roll off this ledge and then just hold down left in order to get over here. After unlocking the key gate, you just want to roll up. Pause just to explain this next bit. So you'll want to roll to the back, and you'll kill the 3 squiddlers and the water spell punk in that order. You want to single attack the one on the right, roll to the ones in the middle, and then full attack to kill the other 2. So I'm rolling over to this guy on the right, single attack, roll, and then I can continuously standard attack to kill the other. And then you kill the water spell punk. That cutscene trigger can be finicky. Being on the stairs close to the twin spouts is where you generally want to be. If it takes a while to trigger, just try to walk around in the area until it works. Sometimes it's weird, you just kind of have to deal with it sometimes. Skip the cutscene, go across the bridge. You want to stay on the right side of the top of this, and then depending on where this squid face brute is walking on, you want to go and roll on the other side. So if you get stuck on it, just full attack to get rid of it and then move on. It looks like he's kind of on the left, so I want to just roll on the right here. And then again, you want to dodge that well. Again, if you get stuck on it, you can just kill it. Note that after the cutscene, you get teleported back a little bit, so I'll roll up and take the bounce pad up on this map. You can roll here if you want. I personally do not roll here, because if you roll and you mess up like that, you just fall down, and getting a perfectly straight roll can be a little funky sometimes. The only one that I ever really consider is doing one roll to get from one side, from this one mask to the other, because it's fairly straight. And you can do one roll here because it's also fairly straight. But just be careful, you don't want to fall off, because that will obviously lose you a lot of time. But yeah, so if you just want to walk it as well, there's no harm in just taking it cautiously and setting yourself up for the next trick. This next bit is going to kind of happen pretty quickly, so I'll try to explain it the best I can. And if you need to, I would refer to just this point in the video and just play it back if you need help. This is a sort of a one-and-done trick. So what you want to do is you want to... where am I? You want to walk off the mast and onto that bounce pad, which you can kind of see directly in front of me. You want to walk off the mast onto the bounce pad, and as soon as you land on the bounce pad, you want to hold left. When you near the peak of the bounce, you want to do a B attack left, then another one going up and left. And that allows you... actually, I can maybe walk over here to show you. So if you look down, you can see the monster gate. What you're doing with this trick is you're essentially bouncing and carrying your momentum far enough to skip past the gate. And that's the premise of this trick. You're trying to get past that monster gate. So again, when you land, hold left, and once you're near your peak, B attack left and B attack up left after that. Note that you can do it with only one B attack, but the setup that I'm giving you is very reliable and consistent. If you happen to miss the jump, just kill the enemies until the guy drops. So I'll try to demonstrate it. Hopefully I get it. So, walking off, hold left, B attack, and you make it past the gate. For the sake of completeness, I'll also show the single B into A method as well. It's similar to the double where you're doing the left, or the hard left, then the up left, but this one you just kind of hold it somewhere in the middle. You just do one, and you can make it across. This one is tighter and is a little bit more difficult, so I would just recommend doing the 2 attack setup. It's much easier and it gives you a lot of leeway, but you know, you can do it in 1 as well if you feel like it. Then after that, you just go to the end of the level. And that's the end of chapter 6.
Les Skylanders, terre, sont plus puissants. Les Skylanders liés à l'eau sont plus puissants. Les Skylanders liés à la Terre sont plus puissants. Les Skylanders.
Ah! Il faut qu'on ouvre la porte principale. 2 choses. D'abord, les pirates disent que le levier est en haut de cette tour.
Les Skylanders liés à l'eau sont plus puissants ici.